Hi, for my DIY video, I decided to show you how to groom your dog at home, which comes in handy right now. We are on quarantine from COVID-19, so it's a great skill to have. The breed that we have in our home that I'll be showing you how to groom is a miniature schnauzer. I have a male and a female. This is my female, her name is Boo, and then my male is named Dude, and I'll show you a little bit of grooming both of them. Because they kind of react differently. So the tools that you'll need to do your grooming are a high quality set of clippers. These are Andas, hopefully that's how you say it, the Ultra Edge. I purchased them from Amazon. I think they were $120, but every time I groom a dog here, it costs $35. So you groom a dog generally every 4 weeks, and that would be $70 for me every 4 weeks, plus a half an hour drive time there and a half an hour back. So an hour of my time, gas that I'm using in my car, and $70 to groom my dogs. So these $120 clippers have actually been a bargain. The other things you will need are this Cool Care. It's a spray that cools down the clippers because they get hot while you're using them. When you very first start to use them, and after you're done, you need to put some oil on your clippers. So you will need this oil, which actually came with the clippers themselves. This was purchased in addition, I think it was $7, also purchased through Amazon. A pair of scissors for their beard and kind of some spots on their head. They don't like the clippers to touch, so you end up cutting them with these scissors. Then there's a metal comb. They have long hair down on their legs and on their stomachs and kind of up on the side of them, and you need this comb to be able to trim that and then also comb it out. Especially if your dog has a mega coat, is what they call it. Some miniature schnauzers have mega coats. Boo does not, so she's a lot easier to groom. Dude has a mega coat, so I'll show you when I'm grooming him that he has little dreadlocks everywhere because I don't comb him every day like I should. And then you also just need this little brush to get the hair off of the clippers before you oil them, and then after you're done, before you oil them again. So this also came with the clippers, so no additional purchase there. So I'm going to go ahead and start out. I usually start out with the back of them because it's more comfortable. They don't like to have their head touched. And both of my dogs actually were just spayed and neutered, so they may be a little bit more sensitive today about being clipped. So this is why I'm just sitting on the floor with them and holding them between my legs, which is what I typically do. A lot of groomers put them on a table so that they'll hold still, but I would just prefer for my dogs to feel comfortable. So what I do is I'm going to turn on my clippers, and I just put it on medium. I don't put it on a high setting. And then I put a little oil in between the two blades and let it work its way out for just a minute, or work its way in. And then I'm going to go ahead and start on Boo. I'm going to start on her back end here. And the traditional cut on schnauzers is to leave the hair long down here, at least for a family dog, not for a show dog. To leave it long on their legs and halfway down their abdomen. And then the top, this portion, you clip pretty short. And that's just kind of a traditional cut for a family dog. And since I've done this cut before, I have a really easy template to follow. So I know right where to put my clippers to have my lines be distinct and straight. And obviously I've clipped her lots of times in her life. She's 7 months old, so she's gotten clipped quite a bit, so she's more used to it. And also she's on painkillers because she just was spayed. So that helps too. If you can drug your dog. To groom your dog is so messy. So I try to keep it isolated, just in the area between my legs. Also, you don't want to wear anything that you can't wash, and plan on taking a shower right after you groom your dogs, because you are going to be a mess. So when I'm letting the clippers cool off, usually I try to progress to her face or her sides. So you use this comb. So on this body hair right here, I usually try to make it as even as possible. I'm not a professional, so it is never perfectly even. But on their legs, where I know that the hair is going to be laying down, I usually trim it with my scissors going in a downward motion. And then this body hair that I know is going to be straight across, I take usually the larger part of my comb and brush through it in case she has some knots, so it doesn't yank her hair and hurt her. And I'll put it in the comb, and I'll either run across it with my clippers, or I'll try to get it as even as possible with my scissors. This is what the after, this is the before, this is Dude. He has a mega coat, so he is much more difficult to groom. He has gotten really knotted, and so I just run the clippers the other way, and just kind of like the way the hairstylist thins your hair. I don't know if you've ever had that done. I have, but they put those scissors in your hair that only clip half of it, and then they just go through your hair and thin it out. So that's kind of the idea of what I do to him, is thin out his hair just a little bit, so that it's just not quite so thick, and hopefully won't get matted. All that's left is cleanup, and you